Hello, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. We are here on 103.5 FM The Beat. We're also on channel 224, that's over on cable. We're on channel 112 as well, that's over on Flow TV. But you can feel free to join us on ILTV Studios right there on Facebook. And get on the phone and you know the spiel, call your friends, tell your friends to stop doing that other thing that they were doing, because why? And come over here and watch us on Freedom March right here on ILTV Studios. So there are a couple of things that are in my mind that I want us to get to at some point today. Of course, I'm opening the phone lines all day. You can feel free to call and continue to pour your condolences in for the leader of the woman, them, Rodney Munga, who has gone from labor to reward. But I'm also going to open the phone lines to allow people to call in and send best wishes to the demitting Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King, who I must admit, Dr. King, I am jealous. I am very jealous. I am a jealous man. First, Clint take Rodney Munga press secretary job, and then all of a sudden I look on the TV, and in his final interview as commander of the Defense Force, Raymond King has opted to give his final interview to Clint Watson, when I have sat on a mountaintop and publicly proclaimed from every hill to every air that would listen to my voice my revere and my support for that command during its tenure. And lo and behold, in the final days of his reign, he gone with Clint. And it brings back ever so fresh to my mind the words of Daddy-O, spiritual advisor, that says, only what you do for Christ can last, and that the rest of this for the fire. So there you have it. I have no final interview from Dr. King, whose command I've supported publicly. I never hear Clint say one time how much he supported Dr. King. I even been to the stakeout. And yet, unbeknownst to me, somewhere in an office, Clint steal my interview. Boy, we're gonna have to read the scripture about forgiveness, something like that, spiritual advisor, because my heart is wroth with anguish and jealousy in this present moment. And so, at some point, take me to Holy Scripture about that. Anyway, this spiritual advisor, Bradley Rowless here. How you feeling today?
Today was a depressing day for me. I don't know what happened today, but I was completely out of it. Stayed home basically half of the day. Did some work today, but it was not much. But
All right, so we'll talk a little bit more. We'll talk a little bit more. The spiritual advisor will find me something on forgiveness when we get back on the next side of the break right here on Freedom March.
I was supposed to be the Prime Minister press secretary. And the next thing I know, Clint run off with it with his big fat self. I'm sorry. I was supposed to have that job. I was supposed to be a big man. And when the media come, I would be saying to them, hello media, my name is Rodney Monka. I'm a justice of the peace. And I'm the chief spokesman for the Prime Minister, but he did my job.
And so, I don't know, spiritual advisor, Clint pull another one on us.
It's a classic.
Clint pull another one on us. Clint thief my interview. And I'm so sad about it. But anyway, tell us what Holy Scripture has to say today, spiritual advisor, as I suck sorrow over in this corner and steep in my...
you didn't stick to your guns. Clint,
steep in my jealous stupor.
Clint Watson's the kind of guy that goes after, what he wants. He's one of those go-getters in media.
What are you saying about me?
So, you were basically closer to the man than Clint.
But I have pledged my troth to the commander. I have pledged my allegiance his entire tenure. Even when he cut me off, I still pledged my allegiance. And all I'm saying is if he was giving out an interview, I just feel like he should have told me he was giving out an interview. I'm so sad about this. Yeah. I thought he was actually being radio silent during the transition, but... boy, if any of you out there see the commander, please tell him how sad he has made me that after 5 years of pledging my allegiance,
Dr. Raymond King.
Give me an interview to Clint Watson. Could you believe that?
A wonderful interview, too.
Spiritual advisor, you watched the interview?
I listened to it.
I almost break up my phone when I see it. When I see him on the TV, I say, bam! I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch that. I take that off my phone. Anyway, tell us what Holy Scripture has to say.
We're going to go to the book of Matthew 23. My unit is not working, so, okay, I'll read it from here. It's a warning against hypocrisy. Jesus actually, and I always say this over and over again, made this word extremely popular during his ministry, but in a negative way. Because the thing about Christianity is it's not a show. It's a doing thing. And it's a doing thing for the honor and the glory of God. And you're not supposed to be doing it basically for a show to get praises from men. So here's what Jesus says to the crowd that basically listened to him. It says, and then Jesus said to the crowd and to his disciples, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. So you must be careful to do everything they tell you. But do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. They tie up heavy, cumbersome loads and put them on other people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them. Everything they do is done for people to see. They make their phylactery, I can't pronounce this word, I'm sorry. I've been doing it for years and could never do it. How do you pronounce the word, producer? P-H-Y-L-A-C-T-E, phylacteries. Thank you, producer. They make their phylacteries wide and the tassels on their garments long. They love the place of honored banquets and the most important seats in the synagogues. They love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and to be called rabbi by others. Hit me there, producer. But you're not to be called rabbi, for you have one teacher, and you're all brothers. And do not call anyone on earth Father, for you have one Father, and he's in heaven. Nor are you to be called instructors, for you have one instructor, the Messiah. The greatest among you will be your servant. For those who exalt themselves will be humble, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. It's very powerful indeed. Matthew 23, 1 through 12. But you are not to be called rabbi. Wow. For you have one teacher, and you are brothers. And do not call anyone on earth Father, for you have one Father, and he's in heaven. Matthew 23. 1 through 12, I read from the NIV. The word of God is always blessed.
Indeed.
Thank you, producer. back to you.
Yeah, so spiritual advisor, that's what's been happening. Do you have any scripture for me to take me past my what does the Bible say about?
That's a small situation. Well, actually,
wait.
Yeah, forgiveness is not an option.
So who am I supposed to give? The king, or am I supposed to forgive Clint?
Did you apply for the interview?
I ain't supposed to have to apply. What you talking about? Has Clint ever pledged? Has Clint ever pledged his trust? Has Clint ever proclaimed his allegiance?
Have you ever pledged allegiance to Dr. King?
Absolutely, publicly. Publicly.
Why didn't he call you?
I don't know. He might be mad, I'm sure. But all I know is I ain't never hear Clint pledge no allegiance nowhere. And all of a sudden, I see Clint got interviewed, and I don't understand how.
Well, Clint may be a big man for Drew.
He is a big man.
Ah, boy, what a time. But listen, forgiveness is not an option when it comes to Christianity. It's a must.
Mm-hmm.
Because the scriptures clearly tells us, if you don't forgive men when they trespass against you, then your Heavenly Father will not forgive you.
But how long? But hold on, I could get to be mad for a day.
Yeah, but don't let the sun go down on that. You got to clear that up before.
Well, hold on, man, because that's only the next 20 minutes. The sun could be going on in about
2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
So
maybe.
you say I could be mad at the king for the next 2 hours?
Who you actually mad at, the king, or you mad at the big man?
I'm mad at the situation.
Okay.
Because how did Dr. King give Clint his final interview?
You missed out on it, man.
How?
Listen, you have a better deal than Clint.
What?
You have a better deal. Let's invite Dr. King to the show.
Let's take a phone call. Give the phone lines. I think
the
we got a
lines
call
open
coming in.
323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. We are still giving tributes. We're still remembering the man that designed Freedom March.
Yeah.
Rodney Munker.
Yeah. And we're also allowing people to send their farewells to Dr. King, their condolences to Rodney Munker. And well, while we at it, you could send your congratulations to Commodore-elect Moxie, eh? But yeah, spiritual advisor, I am mad. I'm mad at Clint for taking the interview. I'm mad at Dr. King. How could Dr. King not tell me he was giving an interview? I thought he was in radio silence. I know he's giving an interview.
Well, he's doing it now.
Oh boy.
And you have a great opportunity.
Let's take this phone call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
A pleasant afternoon, spiritual advisor, Mr. Miller. How are you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
I was calling in reference to that rude, bitter old lady yesterday
Yes, ma'am.
that made that nasty remarks and all the other nasty remarks.
Yeah.
Tell her go to God. She looks like she's closer to the grave, okay? And stop being bitter. Nobody is trying to replace my man of business.
Wow.
Okay, however, he made some personal remarks on people.
Yeah.
And we want to honor him. We don't want to replace him.
Right.
And a teacher is supposed to put his life into the people that he leaves behind, and they're supposed to supersede him.
Yeah.
That miserable woman. But y'all have a wonderful
Pray
day.
for her so she could become more saved.
Before you go, caller, can you help us out with that? Because I'm kind of puzzled about her. What do you think is happening with her? Because she seems to be so bitter.
She's not saved.
I think she don't have no man.
Oh.
And it's been a very long time.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a good
You
place
know
to
what
start.
it is to be loved
Yes.
or pleased
Yeah, she's lack.
by a man.
So she's she's lacking companionship.
So are you suggesting that
Lacking love. Only her mother and her father probably loved her.
Caller.
So let's pray for her, and hopefully she calls today. Let me see if I can encourage her.
I can't pray for her.
You got to forgive her
Sorry.
now. You got to forgive her.
Yeah, but according to spiritual
I'm
advisors
with
say,
a center, but
Okay.
I call a spade, and we have to let these wicked old wretch know where they stand.
oh boy.
She's
Oh,
very
boy.
rude.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a lot of people feel the same way you do, but we're gonna love her still.
But spiritual
And that's
advisors say
true.
you can be mad as long as the sun don't go down. So you
Yeah.
got 2.5 more hours, caller.
Yeah.
And I want to let us know that when you're old, you're supposed to be nice.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You all have a nice day.
That's true.
Yeah.
You take
So the
care of
caller
caller.
say, Mama ain't got no mind. That must mean, I guess the caller's on and she's suggesting that Mama could use a little bit of the smoothing off on her. And since Mama ain't getting the smoothing off on her, Mama ain't really smoothing it off. Let's take this call, producer. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, how y'all doing?
Good.
Doing well, thank you.
Good afternoon, how y'all?
We good.
Good afternoon.
Charlie, I'd just like to say good afternoon to you and your guests, and I would like to send my condolence out to the late Mr. Roddy Munker, my special guest. I'm a listener of him every day, and to him and his family.
We appreciate you.
So me and my family send our condolences, and I hope that the grace of the Almighty God will follow all of us one day and become more brotherly and sisterly love. Have a blessed day.
Appreciate you,
Take
caller.
care now,
Give them
caller.
another spiritual advisor.
323-7775-698. 0775-698-0776. The
Let's take
lines
another
are
one.
open.
Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller. Good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
I've been enjoying the show for the last 3 weeks with you guys. Awesome. But I mourning. My leader passed. There's no one like Rodney Munker. No one like him. And you have to know Rodney to appreciate where he stood.
He's one of a
And
kind.
I called to convey condolence on behalf of my family to his family, and he normally refers to his wife as his darling wife, Gino.
Yes.
You know, to him and his wife, his children, and his grandchildren, and the Bahamas at large. The country's in mourning. Believe me, we really appreciate Rodney. We worked in the same building on Shirley Street. He frequented that law firm. And Rodney had baby shower. He always was advocating for the poor, marginalized, and people in need.
Absolutely.
If he was rich, he would have been poor by now. The amount he did
You set him out
in the
for.
short time, he really helped
You
us.
set him out
And
for.
many times he came and he asked, and we always assisted him. Always had a golden heart. And I'm going to truly, I was really sad. I thought he was really going to pull through.
Me too.
But
Me too.
he's in a better place with our Lord and Savior.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mr. Miller, you and S.A. continue to keep up the good work and
Now-
keep the legacy going.
Now, caller,
Yes, sir.
you know that in the hierarchy of all organizations, when the leader dies,
Yes, sir.
the chairman must take interim leadership.
Yes.
So until
Right.
such time as we are able to decide who should be the new leader of the woman,
Of the woman down.
wherever
Mr.
you,
Chairman, you is the leader of the new woman
I am
down.
now interim leader of the woman.
Interim leader.
And anywhere you see me, you
Okay.
just feel free to wrap your arms tightly around me.
And as a married woman, I can't do that.
But I only checking to see how safe you is. See, when you wrap your arms tight around me, I could gauge exactly
I am
how
a married
safe-
woman, a saved married woman.
Okay, well, praise the Lord.
Yes, but you are the woman that you're the leader, interim leader of the
Interim
woman, and I
leader of the
endorse
woman.
that. I know you always supported him. You and Esther and the gentleman last week, Mr.
Yeah, Mr. International, Dion
Yes,
Delancey.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Y'all always supported him, and y'all made me. I was in here crying, the three y'all on TV crying,
boy.
and got me in my TV room crying last
Yeah,
week.
spiritual advisor them got plenty cry in their eye. My
Yeah,
eye
man.
just run out of
Yeah,
cry
man.
here and
Yes,
there.
man, but it was very touching, man.
Yeah.
Spiritual advisor couldn't keep his eyes dry, and I understand it. Don't mind them rowing. They tight.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
tight. And
Yeah,
he loves
yeah.
spiritual advisor. Spiritual advisor loves him
Absolutely.
dearly.
Appreciate you, caller.
All right, so have a good
Get
evening.
the numbers again, spiritual. 323-7775. 6980775. Let's take another call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope this is live. Lord Roll here. Gary
Lord Roll.
Benson Lord Roll.
Hey, Gary Nixon, Lord Roll. You are live.
Listen to me now, Lamar. Listen to me. Spiritual advisor.
Mm-hmm.
I heard where you said the days you're not your best day. Well, yesterday and today was my very, very, very depressing day, but God is still on the throne, brother. Be comforted
yeah.
and
Yeah, absolutely.
you will have you'll have the better moments to come. Okay, I can share these moments with you. Now, brother
Yeah.
Miller.
Hey, sir.
Getting back to you. I understand. Then you did all your best for your former Commodore, and now you went to Clint. But don't worry about that. your day will come. They can come run to you anyhow before the week is out.
Wow.
They have to come to you. You are the man in the chair. So
Wow.
don't worry about that. What Clint did, he had to do on that side, but you got the military part under your belt.
All I say to them is, don't let Clint keep thieving all my interview. I don't want that to happen.
I with you 100%.
Yeah.
I with you.
Yeah.
Now, what I really call about is to thank those public servants who voted so gracefully for my son, Gary Vaughn Roll,
Indeed.
in the Defense Force. He won his area with landslide. You call it with
3-1, eh?
victory during their election for the credit union. And I would love to thank those police officers, Defense Force, and all those who vote on his behalf. If he hasn't done it yet, I am say gracefully as his father, I appreciate that, and they did what God asked them to do.
Yeah, congratulations, Gary.
Yeah, man. Now, I spoke with you earlier with myself and Father Archer.
Indeed.
But now our Father Archer, we're not able to come on no show at no time in the singular flamingo. But I can do that. Whenever you have time to let me know.
Of course.
I would hope to be able to do it before the Mother's Day, but it looked like it's going to be tight.
We'll figure it out. You know, we got a lot of moving parts going on, but with all the things that have been happening in the last week or so.
You have my number. I have yours.
Indeed.
Personally. And whenever it's convenient, let us do that, because I just would love to share some free things before that day come. And I only wish it would happen before the change of the guard with the new Commodore, but I doubt that's going to happen.
No, that won't happen before.
But I don't think it'll happen. But whatever it is, we will touch base.
All right, Lord Roll, appreciate you.
Take care, man.
323-7775. That's the number to call in, 69807. Producer, we've got that call? No?
Hello.
Hey, caller.
Good afternoon. How are you all? I have my deepest sympathy.
Absolutely.
You and Mr. Roll, Miss Miller.
Hi.
You know who I is. Don't worry about it. First of all, I said this is Deborah Edgecombe.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
One of Rodney woman. When you all have the T-shirts or the tent or whatever you all going to do for Rodney, please let me know, because I'm in the house crying right now. I can't stop crying.
Oh, boy. Deborah, hold on. Everything is going to be all right. If you hold on just a little while longer, Deborah, everything is going to be all right. You know, after the storm cloud passes over, you know that everything will be all right. I'm Raymond Miller. Bradley Roll is with me. We're on 103.5 FM The Beat. We'll be right back after this break.
This segment of Freedom March is brought to you by Modernistic Garden and Pet Supply. For top quality dog food, shop online at modernisticgarden.com or visit our Palmdale, Carmichael, and Mullet Marathon locations today.
Welcome back to Freedom March here on 103.5 FM The Beat. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Leland Miller. Do we have the ad? Are we gonna read the ad and then go to the phone line?
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's read this ad quickly. Are your dogs hungry and tired of low quality food? Give them the best at Modernistic. Carry all the top brands: Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, Onyx Shook, at the lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for a limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. If you can't make it in, shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality, your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry, offer won't last. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Spiritual Advisor. Let's go to the phone line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon. My dear friend, colleague,
Commodore King.
and soldier.
Commodore King. This is Commodore King.
Good afternoon.
That's affirmative. Spiritual advisor.
Dr. King.
Pleasant good afternoon to both of you fine gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Good to have you.
Thank you.
So I had said, Dr. King, how sad I was that I turned on the TV yesterday because, I only just watch ILTV. And while I was flipping through the channels trying to get to ILTV, I saw briefly that there was an interview happening. My eyes are trained to spot this uniform wherever it is. And I said to myself, there could be no way. There could just be no way that in his final interview, Commodore King has gone over and given his final interview as commander of the Defense Force to Clint Watson after I have pledged my loyalty and my commitment and my allegiance to the command of Dr. King during the entire time of his tenure.
I would beg you to please accept my apologies, my dear friend. There's a lot going on as we continue to hand over and prepare for the ceremony on Thursday. But Clint is quite aggressive.
Yeah.
He's action-oriented. And he caught me at a moment when I was prepared to give an interview, because I honestly had no intent on giving any.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to take the limelight away from the incoming commander. But my apologies to you. Gentlemen, please permit me to convey sincere condolences to the late Rodney Monker's family, whom I know well.
Yeah.
Rodney and I shared much from my formative and early days as a youngster. I remember when he used to take photos. He used to cut movies, and he had us act in those movies. When he ran his talk shop, in those days, I was employed at Pioneer Bakery at the corner of, I think it's Blue Hill Road, at a Blue Hill Wagons Mart.
Okay.
And I used to bake the gingerbread sticks that he sold.
Wow.
And I traveled with him to Grand Title Key when he went to check on some property, some family property. I worked with him in those days. He did property clearing and landscaping. And so we have some fond memories. And I always saw him not only as an advocate, but a mentor, big brother, and role model to me.
Wow. Now, Commander, if my intel is correct, you are an alumni of the C.C. Sweeting High School.
That's affirmative, but it didn't come with a pleasant experience, Leela.
Okay.
During my 3 years between 1982 and 84 was when Rodney Monker actually inspired that 3-year strike.
Yes.
And so that adversely affected most of us who were taught by Bahamian teachers because they were part of the strike. So we were able to get by for those subjects where we had teachers from the Caribbean.
Okay.
And so at least I was able to catch up and going back to tertiary level schooling to catch up. But a lot of my classmates, some of them never went back into school to recover. And I often reflect on my math and English subjects. Every semester, we had a new teacher. And so we basically regressed, despite having sound foundation, most of us from H.O. Nash.
Right.
But I always remind him of it, that for some of us, it affected us adversely, but he did it for a worthy cause.
Yeah, I think
we were able to benefit.
It was something about marching you all out of C.C. Sweeting. What exactly was the reason again?
I think, if I can recall, it had to do with the conditions of the school.
Okay.
And conditions generally.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't participate in the strike because I was focused on my GCO level subjects, the sciences, the histories, whose our teachers were from the Caribbean, and they couldn't be a part of that strike. And so he caused me to work extremely hard once I had graduated from CC, because I had to go back to evening classes at CC to get math and English, GCE, all of the Pitmans and RSAs.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's interesting to know that you had encountered Rodney Munga so early in your formative years. I mean, and to see how you have transitioned from formative years and high school learning into a man that now holds, 4 degrees?
Yes, sir. 4.
4 degrees and has commanded the nation's military and has commanded it at its most populated stint in history as well. 1825 is the number, I think, thereabout.
That's affirmative.
Yeah, and the accomplishments. If you had highlights, what were the 2 highlights? And if you had dark hours, what were the 2 dark hours?
The highlights actually would be those commissioning of those Center of Excellences, the Drone Academy, the Bahamas Maritime and Military Academy that are unfolding. Another accomplishment which really stretched my leadership was the response to Hurricane Dorian, and that was compounded by the impacts from the global pandemic and taking the organization through that period. My dark periods, Leland, would be, there were times it all depended on who was the commander of the Defense Force, whether you were in favor or not. And so there were 1 or 2 commodores in particular where some of my appointments appeared to be regressive. I had felt as though I was stifled. But I always send a message to aspiring leaders that the road to the top is never linear. You're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows, you're going to have your Gethsemanes. But I always sought to learn from each experience. I never challenged any appointment I was given. Because there was always something new to learn.
Yeah.
And so those experiences, and believe it or not, throughout my career, I applied for study leave on several occasions, and they were never approved.
Wow.
So I had to invest in myself, and that was my message to persons. If the organization doesn't do it, invest in yourself.
Yeah. Many people question your mind around styles of promotion and the need to reach so deeply in for some persons. Some people argue, many of them not even polished enough to sit in the positions that in your wisdom you thought should have those positions. How do you justify that in an organization that is old enough to be august and solidified in its doctrine, but still young enough to be evolving into things like the Maritime Academy, into things like the Drone Academy, because those things weren't a part of the history of the force. Those are forbearing things, right? So you've got a force that is old enough that if it continues to do exactly what it has done, it will have successes. But it's young enough to have it mushroom into something else. How do you make the minds of the critics understand the need for putting people, maybe even unpolished, into those kinds of strategic places?
Miller, you and I would have come through a period while you were there. And promotions came every 3 years.
Yeah, with the blue moon.
And even when it came, they were so small in nature. And if you missed one, for me, I waited on average 6 to 7 years between every advancement. And so we would have lost considerable ground, but those persons would have had the necessary experience. Right? That's one point. The second point is, I had restructured the organization for decentralization. Before I ascended between 2015 to 2017, I was responsible for doing the human capital audit and forecasting for the organization. And so I had 3 years of consecutive work that I was satisfied that we needed a force complement of a certain size. We needed a certain number of officers, warrant officers, senior rates, etc., to meet the human capital demands and needs in operating in a decentralized environment. And so I personally, at a junior, I was a commander, but I did those surveys, did those audits, and at the benefit of having an inside view of what was needed in order to justify those decisions made.
So when we look at though the instances where some of those appointments have led to instances that needed to either be made public, or that you and I, we shared a small difference in view with regards to the need to report defects, right? Operations have defects all the time. There is, in my view, no need to report them as long as there's no loss of life or limb. I remember under your tenure, though, you felt differently about that and thought that, there was no need to not report the defects. But some of those appointments have led to operational defects. As a commander, sitting in the chair, trying to close the gap that you speak of, and I imagine open up new opportunities for people that you identify as bright spots. As you begin to have those op defs roll in, how does that wear on the mind of the commander?
Miller, I think it was during my first year when there were 1 or 2 incidents that were reported. And you and I would have spoken, and if you want to reflect, I never reported any others from year 1.
Yeah.
I simply haven't.
Yeah.
All right? Now, I would have spent more than 85% of my career at sea sailing. And I, too, would have had mishaps, instances, unfortunate instances being in command of smaller crafts as in the organization. But I learned from those experiences. And I learned quickly. I never made the same mistake twice. And so these things will happen. These things will happen. And that is why I established a sea training branch. We got the Bridge Master Simulator. And so vessels were in a battle rhythm of patrol, maintenance, training, refamiliarization, and downtime to ensure that they get into the simulator room under simulated conditions and to make them more situationally aware and to share experiences with them. And then we also had mobile training teams during their ship refamiliarization and training to go on board, to look on, to evaluate safety and emergency drills, ship handling, shipboard evolutions, and then we have a program. But Miller, what has really negatively affected us is the procurement trying to procure those parts as timely. And the procurement lead times are extremely long. right? The procurement process is a bit protracted.
Yeah.
And once you would have done all of that, then you still have to arrange with the shipyard and get fitted into their schedule
Right.
to have the work done.
Right.
But that is why I was able to convince the Free National Movement at the time and Minister Dames to go into a long-term service agreement. It was a 3-year arrangement to totally equip all of our engineering teams on board those vessels, and to couple with the sea training for the officers on board to prevent mishaps, to prevent downtime, so we would have been able to increase the operational rate. But I'm pleased to say, despite those challenges, operationally we would have done exceptionally well with the resources we had and the challenges we had. I had to be creative, and we would have done it nonetheless.
Yeah. So, Dr. King, here are the 2 questions in my mind for you now. You're probably one of the most seagoing commanders we've had in 15 years, for sure. I can't think of any of your predecessors that has as much seagoing time. And so we saw that under your tenure, I've often publicly stated that the Haitians couldn't land a Haitian seaweed on Raymond King. Right? No, it's true. And if my memory is as sharp as I think it is, the only 2 landings under the King's reign was Andros, and I think that was somewhere in the back of Billy Island. And if you know Billy Island well enough, leaving them there would be of no material value. It is actually a search and rescue effort to have taken them off of Billy Island and not necessarily an immigrant landing. I don't exactly recall the second one, but I do remember the message of Commodore King being maritime domain awareness, maritime domain dominance, and maritime domain control. Yes. So I get that comes from your operational capacity and being the commander of so many vessels throughout your 40-year tenure. But you are also one of the most academically decorated commanders this organization has ever seen. Tell us, how has that played into your command?
Well, from the operational aspect, with my more than 85% of my career being in the operating theater, I knew and I know and I monitor and I stay updated with the new trends and practices. And so that came with relatively ease. And at one point, I think when I was a senior lieutenant, I did a 25-year research on all of our operating data to undergird our strategy. And so I know where they want to be, when, what time of the year. So all of my operational orders were based on that strategy and it worked to perfection.
Yeah.
Now with the degree part of it, because my degree is in organizational leadership, in leadership and management. And that would have prepared you to be honestly in managing the human resources and anticipating certain things to happen in managing persons, individual behavior, organizational behavior, but more importantly, how do you mitigate or counter these organizational practices and dynamics? And I had a good feel in terms of managerial and the leadership aspect in dealing with that aspect and being able to motivate those persons and to take ownership of our mandate and mission. I'll give you one example. Persons often ask me, why did you promote that person? And you know that person didn't serve your interests. They were opposing you, and when they were in favor with the previous command. My thing is, Levin, is this. Everyone wants to contribute meaningfully, right? And I simply wanted us to be professional and to do our jobs. If that had morphed into anything else, it would have been gravy. But if someone was contributing meaningfully and positively, it was my goal to reward and recognize them instead of ostracizing and victimizing persons and allowing them to use their energies in a negative way to erode everything I wanted to accomplish. So I was creative in my leadership and management skills, qualities, and abilities.
How did it play into the standardization of requirements, the standardization of testing, the standardization of evaluations? Because again, your doctorate's degree is in leadership development, and so I know that there are some civilian check marks for you that I imagine you also keep your eye on, even though you are commander of the Navy.
Well, the Maritime and Military Academy seeks to do that from an academic perspective and all of our professional development programs.
Okay.
And considerable resources were invested in digitizing all of the processes in the organization to standardize our policies, processes, procedures, to have the information available to members that are within their reach, and to standardize, and that is why I established the Force Inspectorate Office, whose function was to look at all of our standing orders, all of our policies to ensure congruence, that they complemented each other, and to ensure the integrity of those orders, and to be open to advice from those commanders on revisions that they thought were necessary. So I utilized that office to ensure standardization generally within the organization.
Okay. So I note that you said that, you know, everyone you said in an interview that I heard somewhere else, right, that at the time when you were asked about your future, you continued to operate as the commander because you were bound by contract at that time, but that really and truly, you know, once you're no longer bound by a contract, you are allowed to have other ambitions elsewhere. How much more time do you think a Commodore King would have needed in order for people to see the full bloomed product that is the commander's intent? And what are the ambitions that the non-contracted Commodore King may consider now that he's left the ship?
I think I would have needed at least 3 more years to bring most of those programs to fruition. About 3 years, but I'm really not concerned about that, Miller, because the percentage of officers I've had the opportunity of directly influencing who would have sailed and worked directly, and they were taught by me. More than 65% of the officers, more than 40% were converted to the officer corps during my 5.5 years.
Okay.
So there are some Joshuas who would have bought into the vision, and they will see their fruition. But as it relates to me, Levon, I look forward to taking a few months, leave, travel with my wife, spend some time with my lovely grandchildren. They need me more than ever now, but rest assured, I don't believe in preempting the government.
Okay.
But I'll be able to contribute meaningfully to the development of this country. Once I then take a few months, similar to yourself, just to get the defense force out of my system.
She never leaves. She never leaves. She's a jealous girlfriend that never leaves you alone and doesn't allow you to have any other soother. After all this time, I still can't get her out of me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Commodore King, we're almost out of time and going to the break. I want to absolutely thank you for calling in.
And all the best to you.
I ain't jealous of Clint no more. Clint, you see that? I had big time live on TV interview.
Okay, so
you're most welcome.
Beat that, Clint,
and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Absolutely, sir. And the spiritual advisor is with me. He's my +1, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I know you. Remember, I advised you to bring him along.
Indeed. And I want him to know that I've had more attractive +1s in my life, but I'll see what I can do in this one.
Yeah. I appreciate the
invitation. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah,
thank you, Commander.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. And so that was the voice of Commodore Dr. Raymond King, who is also going to go down in history as the most decorated commander of the Defense Force. Can you believe that? I think the second most decorated one may be Cliff Scavella, I think, or maybe one of the others.
You can answer that.
Or maybe one of the others. My mind is reaching for it. Let my mind reach for it. I know Cliff has 4. I think Raymond has, is it 6? They got plenty medals now. One time ago, you had to half dead in order to get a medal. But in the commander's wisdom, he saw the need to, regulate all of the requirements you need in order to be decorated. And I say to civilians everywhere, whenever you see a man in medals, it means that he has poured his life out in such a way, and the story of his life is worn on his chest as a beacon of honor for all of the men around to understand and to know exactly what he has done with his life worth. Yeah. So, spiritual advisor.
Service.
Cleanliness big time as me, I'll tell you that right now. You could afford to have your pre-recorded interview. What we had spiritual advisor? Live on air interview with the outgoing commander of the Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King, who we will see on Thursday. And until such time as Commodore Floyd Moxie takes the chair, do I get to say, long live the king? Anyway, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. I'm leaving it alone. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Levan Miller. We're on 103.5 FM, The Beat. We're on 224. That's on cable. We're on 112. That's on Flow. Oh, we're on ILTV Studios. That's on Facebook. I'm here with Bradley Rowell, right? Who is the spiritual advisor? What was that?
That's just a little capture. But you know, listen, I need somebody to. This may sound foolish, but when you call in today, explain to me what's happening. There are days when I'm okay, and then there's times when I just have these moments where I just can't control
grief.
The sorrow. I'm trying to figure what's
grief is ticklish, spiritual advisor. Sometimes the triggers in your mind, they sometimes the sensory nerves are activated by touch, taste, smell, sight, and you know what I mean. That is why you can never really tell people how to grieve, right? Or when to stop grieving, or when to start grieving. And there are some people that have latent grief, like, you know, they don't begin their mourning process until weeks after the time has passed. And so that is why we must let people deal with their grief individually and process it however their emotions permit them, right? And to actually seek healthy replacements, right? And to seek healthy habits during the time of grief, right? So you know, there may be some people that say, oh, well, I don't drink liquor, but you go on out there and you eat six bag of Cheetos because your mind is trying to replace that thing. And so humans, because of our condition, our social conditioning, right? We like consistency, and we never want things to change, and we want things to be sempiternal. But what we know is that life is fleeting.
Today was not a good day for me.
Yeah. I would give you a hug.
Today was not a good day
if you're into hugging and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Why
so
not?
If you need a hug at some point, please feel free to take one from me.
But we got some birthdays.
Yeah.
We got some birthdays to
you got the list?
Yeah. I think I got it right here. So on top of the list of the birthdays, I think it's Lovato Colby. Lovato Colby. Happy 38th birthday greetings to Lovato Colby. From all who love you, may God continue to strengthen and keep you. Happy birthday, Lovato Colby. Shanique Reed.
Yep.
Shanique Reed. Happy birthday to Shanique. Is that one for you?
Well,
go ahead, you can do it.
Shanique Reed, happy birthday from your friend Brittany and all of those people that love you. They want you to have a wonderful day. They want you to have all of the goodness and kindness that life can offer you. They want you to go there and have yourself a fantastic evening and enjoy your day to the fullest, Shanique Reed.
Sophie, happy birthday, Sophie, all the way in Sandy Point, Abaco, from all who love you, especially your aunt, Shelley Panza. So happy birthday to Sophie. Raquel Bow. Raquel Bow is celebrating 53rd birthday. It's coming from your husband, Delmar, your children, Destiny, Delicia, Divinity, the entire Boo family, the entire Lundy family, the entire Johnson family, the Church of God of Prophecy family, and may God continue to bless you with many more birthdays. They love you. Happy birthday to Raquel Bow. Margaret Major. Happy birthday to my good Margaret Major, who, with lots of love from her godchild Lily. Happy birthday to Margaret Major. And then Andrea Davis. Happy birthday to Andrea Davis from Lily. All right. And then we got one of these, one out of many memorable moments.
Yeah.
You know something? Paul McQueenie did something very interesting over the last couple of weeks prior to Rodney's surgery. Paul McQueenie, who is the proprietor of, what's the eatery again now? Aquafire.
Yes.
West Bay Street. He gave us an open invitation to come and be with him. And we spent some time with Paul. That's Dion Delancey, the senator, me, and Mr. Vasco Bastian, who is a very, very good friend of Rodney Munker. As a matter of fact, I spoke to him a couple minutes ago. He talks about him having a bad day today as well, how he missed Rodney and how he's willing to just do anything for this man because of the impact he had on his life, you know. It's just amazing. But Paul McQueenie did something interesting. Maybe God was speaking to Paul in Rodney's latter days, giving him an open invitation this restaurant. As a matter of fact, we were scheduled to go back to Paul Aquafire because Paul gave us an invitation to come back to try his Sunday brunch.
Wow.
But that was not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But listen, Paul McMinney, we'd like to say thank you so much for your open arm invitation to your restaurant. We sat down, we ate, and we drank with you, and we had a good time. And we're just grateful to you for that. I'm sure the senator we did take some photos after we had finished dining, and he did express his thankfulness to you. Yeah. Well, we did it. We were supposed to come back, Paul, but listen, it's all in the master's plan.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're thankful to you, Mr. Paul McQueenie, the proprietor of Aquafire.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, producer.
Spiritual advisor, here is how I know that you and I are becoming more connected, because I had the opportunity today to go and do some banking. And you remember last week, you had shot out a young gentleman in the bank. Yeah.
Yeah. T. Mott.
And
very professional young man.
And what do you know? I walk in the bank, and the fellow was serving me, and he was just, he pays specific attention to detail. I've had the same signature since I was 14, right? I tell you, I've not changed anything in my life since I was a 9th grade boy. Every plan that I've made in my life existed from I was in the 9th grade. When Greg Cash tell us that in 25 years, the only question, no one will ask what you got on BGCSE, no one will ask if you passed your BJC. No, the only thing people will ask in 25 years is, what do you do now? And the only way to answer that truthfully is you'd have to be able to live your life in such a way that when you got to the 25-year mark, you'd be able to articulate that, right? So I started to, so his message just was to plan out what you want life to look like 25 years from today. And so all of the things you see happening in my life are written somewhere on a piece of paper from the 9th grade, right? Including my signature. And so I ran into Mr. T. Mott today, who told me,
really?
Yeah.
That's what bank?
Yeah.
Oh,
who
wow.
told me, do you know that when you sign this paper and when you sign that paper, the L on this paper has a bigger loop than the L on that paper? And I said, boy, hush up your mouth. I've been signing my signature like that for 25 years. You don't tell me nothing but no loop. And then he told me that his name was T. Mott, and I said, T. Mott, the same T. Mott that helped the spiritual advisor. And he says, yeah, I think I did help a gentleman a couple of weeks ago, and I told him about your kind sentiments that you offered him right here on Freedom March. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got some calls waiting, producer. We're so sorry to have you waiting too long. So long. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, Mr. Miller.
Hi.
I'm calling to give my condolence to the Monka family.
Yes, ma'am.
But spiritual advisor, I must say you are very strong. I admire you. Mr. Monka would be proud of you. I would not have thought you would have been able to make the show, but you came.
Absolutely.
There was something that you said yesterday concerning the senator's funeral. You said if the government buried the senator, the public wouldn't be able to see it. It would be on the radio. Is that what you said?
No, what we did yesterday was we looked at what the government have listed.
Right. I was watching the show.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't say, I was just reading, I can't make any decision.
I understand.
Okay.
Is that what you were saying, that the senator would have a broadcast show other than an aired show?
Right, so according to the rules,
right,
state-recognized funerals are permitted airtime on the radio, not on TV.
Okay.
Right.
This is what I'm calling for.
Okay.
Mr. Monka is the Bahamian champion. There's no politician in this Bahamas that have the love that Mr. Monka had for the Bahamian people. Rich, poor, it didn't matter.
Yes, ma'am.
You could call Mr. Monka anytime. He always answered his phone. We, the Bahamian people, are asking that we see Mr. Monka funeral on the TV one more time.
Wow.
Please ask Mr. Sabas if the government don't do that for the Bahamian people, please.
Well, I am absolutely certain that Eyewitness News will definitely carry that.
That is my
live.
only concern. Let us see the funeral.
Yeah.
Thank you, and y'all be safe and
Yes,
be blessed.
you too.
Right,
thank you so much. We appreciate your commentary.
Welcome. Let's take some more calls. I wanted to catch somebody here, but let's take some more calls.
Yeah. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Are you there, caller? We apologize for having you guys wait so long, okay? Welcome to Freedom March, caller. Are you there, caller? Once again, we apologize. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Spiritual advisor, how you do, sir?
Ready hanging in, man.
Brother Miller.
Hey, buddy.
You made history again.
Really?
You had the last interview with the outgoing Commodore. You done beat Clinton yesterday, you today.
And live on air.
And live.
You take me for a piano. You take me for a piano.
Man, listen to me. When I tell the people by breakfast this morning, watch out for you, they laugh.
My granny would have said, check the tag, honey. I's a diplomat. I ain't no dipping fat.
But listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me, sir. You know what I got from that interview?
Tell me.
Chef Mo don't eat. If you didn't cry how he give Clinton an interview, he might not call you.
And that's something? That is
so
something.
Chef Mo don't eat.
Yeah.
If you're more close, you can't eat. But let me say something in closing.
Yeah.
We always beat down the politicians when we say they do bad, they do this, they do that. And Brother Munker was supposed to have been to this event that the Bamboo Town branch is having on Sunday. I hope you notice I said the Bamboo Town constituency.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say nothing but PLP, nothing but FNM, nothing but DNA, nothing but FNN. Everybody is invited.
Mm-hmm.
We are having a Mother's Day luncheon starts at 3 o'clock at the All Saints Auditorium.
Okay.
There would be surprises and prizes. The member of parliament told me to let them know every mother that comes there will leave with something.
What about if I bring my mother? She from South Beach.
No, I want you to. You can bring your mother, but I want you to come in space of the woman. You're now the chair. You're the
interim leader.
Leader now.
Interim leader.
So you would have to come and represent the chairman there on Sunday. Starts at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Now there are going to be some prizes and some games. We'll have like the oldest mother. The mother. Listen to this now. The mother that has the most children that lives in Bamboo Town.
Wow.
So that means the mother could be living in Seven Hills and her children could be living in Kennedy. You could count them all as Bamboo Town.
Okay.
And in Black Point Exuma, they have what they call the Ugly Man Contest.
Mm.
But you know, growing up, they used to say, boy, you look like, boy, you favor
your man.
Bishop Miller, and boy, you favor your granny.
Yeah.
So we want the woman that favors Dynamite Daisy will win a prize.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Okay.
And also, the best dressed lady will also get a prize. We have all kind of prizes.
Wow.
But Brother Miller and you, spiritual advisor, y'all are invited, and bring your soft hands if you wish.
Naturally. If you go somewhere, you have to take a pair of soft hands.
Thank you so much, caller. All right, thank you so much, caller. Take care.
Does the Bible say anything but carrying soft hands?
No. It doesn't.
Boy. I guess
Welcome to Freedom March. Caller, you're live. Caller, you there?
Hey, what's up, caller?
F.A., you cry yet? You really cry yet? That's what you need to do to get over all of this, is lock yourself down someplace and just let it all out. Okay?
Yeah.
The little tears you drop in, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You gotta go someplace and just scream your head off, get it all out one time, because you still gotta live, but you gotta get it out.
Yeah,
that's what I
absolutely.
learned in mortuary school.
Yeah.
You gotta get the grief out, get it out.
Yeah.
Like I tell families when they bury their loved ones, let it out.
Yeah.
Let it all out. Leave it here to the funeral home. Let it out.
Thank you so much, caller.
Find yourself someplace, go on the beach, scream, and tell someone, probably send the police out there and say someone ordering out there, but you gotta let it out, Mr. Rowan.
I appreciate you.
All right?
Yeah. Thank you, caller.
So much.
Hey.
Take your time.
Appreciate you, buddy. And if you want to know, money does end my sadness. So if you see me looking very sad,
Mr. Miller.
if you see me walking around and I look sad,
have a blessed day, yeah?
All right.
Things.
Just bring me little things, yes. Yeah, bring me things, and instantly sadness begins to escape my body. I don't understand it. Let's take another call.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. We lost that call.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Good afternoon, Mr. Roll.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, caller.
Miller, my brother Roll, my heartfelt condolences. My heart went out to you. And I will share a story with you. My daughter passed at the age of 20 on February 15, 2007. My father died when I was 13 years old. And as I watch you, Mr. Roll, with your daughter, how close you were, you all are. I was a daddy's girl. And the advice Mr. Miller gave you just now is so sound. You have to let each person grieve in their own way. Don't let anybody tell you what to do, how to do. Just ask God's guidance as a Christian man. Lord, you direct my heart. And whenever you feel, you're going to have up days, you're going to have down days. For 6 years, Mr. Roll, I cried straight.
Wow.
The thing that brought me through to my daughter is that I had a picture, a graduation picture on my bureau. And she had a smile. You think, Mr. Rose, you think you have a laugh? My daughter, she had a beautiful voice. She had a laugh. She was a happy person. And every time I would cry, and I'm looking at her picture on my drawer, and that brought me around 6 years straight. So the advice Mr. Miller gave you is sound.
Yeah.
Advice, and
Absolutely.
I put your strength in the Lord today. Remember, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days.
Absolutely.
But do it your way. God bless you both.
Thank you so
and
much.
Power to truth. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Appreciate you, caller. Spiritual advisor, I think we missed something. We taking the call, or are you going to the clip? Let's take the call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi.
Doing well, thank you.
Great. Spiritual advisor, I just wanted to give my special condolences to you, because you sat beside Mr. Monker, late Senator Monker, for years. You had your rough patches, you had your high patches. And one thing I noticed with Mr. Monker, with you, he used to carry on, slam on that desk and everything to drive you almost insane. But the thing is, when you got angry or you would walk off or whatever, all he wanted to do at the end of the day, when the callers came in and berate him, leave spiritual advisor alone. You understand? He would turn and look at you sideways, look at you sheepishly, and then you would see him suck up.
Are you there, caller? All right, you have to call back. We lost you. I'm sorry about that. 323-7775. You have a clip you say you want to show?
Yeah. Let me actually just we forgot to do this in the birthday. So the wake for Senior Lieutenant Elwood Sims is tonight, actually. Is the day? No, not tonight. It's the 13th.
Tuesday.
I keep telling y'all I can't read it from that far without my glasses.
That's next week Tuesday?
Yeah, so it's next week Tuesday at 7 p.m. And it's on board the ship, actually. It's going to be at HMBS Coral Harbor, and it will be in the Northgate building, outdoor pavilion in the area of the wardroom. So if you know him, please make plans in your calendar to attend. I guess the last set of get-togethers before he too is committed to the ground, eh?
Absolutely.
All right, let's take some more phone calls.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. Are you there, caller? 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. You can call us. The lines are still open.
While I waiting on the phone call, spiritual advisor, I want to consult Michael Pintad. Michael Pintad, if you could use our ideas, right? You could have to don't be a FNM. You could have to come and be a FNA. Because it ain't no way you could pretend like you don't listen to Freedom March and like you ain't hear me and the spiritual advisor right here on Freedom March say right on this show how there needed to be a national fire and emergency services. Did you hear that on this show, spiritual advisor?
Yeah, of course.
Then all of a sudden, out from the bushes, unbeknownst to me, Pintad say a Pintad administration will create a national fire department. My foot. You're not going to create no fire department around here? Because that's a FNA idea. And you're not an FNA. Who's an FNA spiritual advisor?
I can tell you.
Hubert Minnis is an FNA. Lincoln Bain, we trying to make him an FNA too. Iram Lewis could be an FNA. Kwesi Thompson could be an FNA. And when all of these bunch of FNAs get together and form the opposition, we can bring Brian because he could be a light-skinned FNA. And after that, when we take the government, then we go establish a national fire department. But you don't try to for our idea but the Pentad administration. But whenever since you thought about any national fire department, and let me ask you a question, when you're sitting in that cabinet with your mouth stitched together, how come you ain't had no national fire department then? See that? It's because you don't have an original thought. And you're not gonna teach the FNAs. Matter of fact, we copywriting that. You're not gonna teach the FNA's idea, and that's what I want to say. And you could carry your FNM, and you all go and find one new idea, because you can't have ours. We got calls?
Welcome to Freedom March, call you live.
I just want to finish my point in reference.
Oh, yes.
Hey,
yes.
Thank you for calling back.
Yeah, and, what I loved about it is, like all over TikTok, y'all laugh spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
I don't know if any woman, man, child could ever make you laugh the way Mr. Walter made you laugh.
Yeah.
That laugh, that was such a combination with both of you, gentlemen.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
one thing, Mr. Miller, I want you to do, I want you to get that seat. That's something that you have to do before you get the woman STEM leader to me.
Okay.
I want to hear you. I want to see you make spiritual advisor laugh.
What if I tickle him on the foot?
I don't care what you do.
Okay.
Let's just see. I'm gonna
Spiritual
watch
advisor, hide your foot from me.
But you want to have a nice day, okay?
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
You too. You take care now. God bless you, my
Yeah.
friend. 323-7775. As a matter of fact, a lot of folks don't realize that when me and Rodney met, and then we eventually got into the broadcast, and the story goes on. No one has made me laugh as much as he did from I was in high school. As a matter of fact, I almost got expelled for my laughing in high school.
Really?
Yeah, because when I laugh in St. Augustine's College,
They say you don't sound like a Catholic at all.
The next 2 blocks we ended up laughing.
Wow.
And so the teachers would be like, my laugh is disrupting classes.
Yeah.
And they sent me to the dean office for that.
Wow.
And they wanted to make sure that I try to control the way I laugh. But once you see me laugh in class,
that's it.
If I on this block,
break down.
The next block start laughing, and the next block start laughing. One big problem. Anyhow,
yeah.
welcome to Freedom March.
A very hard wicked like a medicine, they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello.
Hi.
You're live, caller.
Hi. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
This is Dr. Grievances. I would usually text into the shows. Hello, happy birthday, or whatever it is. But today, my heart is saddened after I found out that Rodney Monka had passed a couple of days ago.
Wow.
He was a blessing to us. He came to our school, Vision Academy, and he shared with the young children, and everybody had their sister saying this is powerful. I always admired him and enjoyed a good laugh. Listening to you guys communicate that friendship, that bond, and you would never see face, but pray that God will strengthen you during this hour, you and your radio family.
Yes, ma'am.
Do have a wonderful day.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you very much,
Thank you
caller.
much.
That's the
Appreciate
jingle.
your call.
You hear it. We're going to the break. Leaving Miller. We're on 103.5 FM. When I come back, I case you know at least one white man. Let's see if the spiritual advisor can stop me. So you don't go nowhere. We'll be right here on Freedom March right after the break. With us, welcome back to Freedom March. Leland Miller. We're here on 103.5 FM The Beat. I'm still with the spiritual advisor, but we've got Tanya on the line. Hello, Tanya.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller, and good afternoon, spiritual advisor. It's your girl Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store, your miracle right here on Marquis Street, where we say we're here for you for whatever season of your life and for everyday living. Bahamas, the countdown to Mother's Day is on, and Shop Smart is your one-stop destination to celebrate the most important woman in your life. That's right, we're making this Mother's Day unforgettable with a store-wide sale of 20% off everything. But wait, it gets even better with special deals just for mom. Show mom how much you care with scented candles for just $1. Fill a closet with love. Grab 3 pairs of shoes for only $21. 5 gorgeous pieces of clothing for just $25. She'll feel like a queen. Looking for something that really shines? All jewelry is an unbelievable 70% off. And don't forget the perfect place to keep it. Yes, her jewelry box. Our jewelry box are 50% off too. And that's not all. From teddy bears to picture frames to inspirational signs and mug, it's all 20% off. You can mix and match and create the ultimate Mother's Day surprise. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. The clock is ticking and Mother's Day is just around the corner. Make Mom's Day magical without breaking the bank. Shop Smart, where love meets saving. Come in today and let's make your Mother's Day unforgettable. Shop Smart is open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. But if you can't come in the store, just come and visit us on our website at www.shopsmart242.com or give us a call at 698-1051 or 698-1052. Gents, remember to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart.
Thank you, Tanya. You know, I said I wanted to case of the white man, right? But I ain't finished casing of this black man yet, you know. I mean the unmitigated gall of Michael Pintard to put up, a Pintard administration. And you don't have a teaspoon of shame. I guess next week, a Pintard administration is going to also put in place a commissioner of road traffic and road safety. Huh? I guess, and the week after that, a Pintard administration could buy the office of the Prime Minister a helicopter. I want you to leave, but you know something? You know something, Michael Pintard? I ain't surprised. Because Rodney Munker advised me about you long time and how he should have leave you in the wilderness.
Want me to believe that y'all ain't no sissy? Y'all is a bunch of sissy men. God forgive me for calling them a bunch of sissy men, but y'all are sissy men. And I figure y'all out. Because anytime you see men doing that kind of foolishness, they are anti-woman and they're a bunch of sissy men. That's what they are. A bunch of sissy men. How dare!
And that's exactly how I feel for y'all watching man and then going out here and acting like man idea is your idea. When since you had this idea? Watching man. Anyway, spiritual advisor.
I don't know if I'll approach it like that. You know.
Ever since Michael Pintard said he wanted to start a fire department.
All I'm saying is this, right? We're here in this country, and we all want the country to progress.
Yeah.
We want to build this country.
Yeah.
For me, if I hear a good idea, and I think it will help the country,
you stick your name on it and say it's yours.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, that's what he did.
I don't think he did that.
What of the thing? The thing say Pintard administration
doesn't mean that they own that idea. They may have heard it and decided, hey, this is a good idea. Mind you, he would be in a better position than you to actually do this. You see where I'm coming from?
He couldn't do it while he was sitting in the cabinet. Why didn't you advise your prime minister that this was a good idea? Because y'all had 5 years to buy the truck, them and things now. Brave only had 3 so far. You all had 4 years to buy the fire truck them and start any department you all did want. You know, like how you all give the foreign people the ability to have their immigrant permit approved within 21 days, whether someone see the letter or not. You know how you all did that?
Listen.
Well, why you all couldn't have done this?
Okay, so here's the reality.
It's unsafe.
No.
And I didn't figure them out.
Don't
Want me with them.
Listen, don't get mad at this. Let me tell you something. Let me share this with you. Let me see if I can make you feel better. All right? The general consensus of the texts that are coming to my phone about a lot of your commentary is that you have some very brilliant ideas. I can show you at least 7 to 8 texts coming from certain people in the country that speak about your commentary. And they say you have some brilliant ideas. So listen, you want to build country and we all want to. So you're sharing some ideas that will help move the country forward. People are listening, and those who have the power to actually put those ideas to play will do it.
So what you do is you say, listen.
Unless you want to just keep quiet and save your ideas for yourself.
No, good ideas don't need ownership. They only need implementation.
Okay.
So the point I'm making
right, so you understand that?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, don't go stick your name on it like
I don't know if they're doing that.
Rodney want me with them. You said that was to make me feel better. I feel better.
Yeah.
Rodney warned me about you, Michael. He said he should have leave you in the wilderness. And I believe he should have spun you around 6 times first before he leave you, just to make sure you couldn't find your way out. Because you're watching, man, and then sticking your name, talk about, you spent 4.5 years going upstairs in the elevator. Huh? You all didn't need no fire department then. It was okay for the commissioner, who had crime out of hand, to also be responsible for fire spiritual advisor. And now all of a sudden, a blue light. It was a blue light from heaven.
But everybody knows your idea. So don't worry about that.
Rodney want me but you. Anyway, let's take some more phone calls, because I was getting cursed of the white man. Ryan Pendai won't curse you out, you know.
Did we have we had a birthday, right?
We have another birthday? Well, how much
This is a late one. I'm
birthday?
so sorry. We were supposed to do this early. Listen, this is from the Church of Christ.
Oh, wow.
This is Dr. Chris Curry's wife. Her name is Raquel Curry. She's a doctor as well.
Wow.
She's celebrating a birthday. This birthday shout is coming to you from the Highbury Park Church of Christ, the leadership of the Highbury Park Church of Christ, all of the officers and members, and of course, everyone here at Freedom March, including me. We want to wish you a very happy birthday, Raquel. We hope you live to enjoy many, many more. All the best to you, coming to you from your husband, your daughter, and of course, the Highbury Park Church of Christ family. Happy birthday, Raquel.
So while I in the vein of cursing out people, happy birthday, Dr. Raquel. I want to curse Ryan Bender. Ryan Bender, listen to me, man. You white, you smart, everybody think you brilliant, use a KC. If you write in the law that the police could tow my car because I ain't licensed it, I agree with that. If you write in the law that the police could impound my car because I ain't licensed it, I agree with that. Let me tell you what I don't agree with, spiritual advisor. I don't agree with Pookie, the record driver, could carry my car somewhere in the back of one ghetto in an unregulated yard, and nobody could know where my car is except for the record driver, who name ain't listed nowhere in no phone book. I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with the fact that it could be a bunch of private record drivers, right, who nobody know. Let's draw a scenario. Let's just say Pookie decide that he run a load and he buy a record truck so he could clean up his money because he don't know how else to put his drug money in the bank. So now Pookie got a record truck. Pookie friend Blacks, because you know we only got the society to recruit from, and Commodore King say over the last 4 years, what he's noticed is these Negroes we recruiting in the last 4 years, no amount of training could stop them from being criminals. Okay? Well, he didn't exactly say that, but you get the point. Now Pookie and Blacks running a racket on the road because Ryan tell them, take my car because I ain't licensed it. Ain't licensing is a ticketable offense, no problem. Because of the amendment in the law, now the police could impound my car. Well, how in God's name you tell the police to impound my car and then you all ain't make no registered legitimate impound lots? How you tell them to impound my car when Blacks could just call Pookie on the cell phone that them two is used to do Jesus know what, and then take my car? And then when Pookie carry my car, because he's a record driver now, he ain't a drug boy no more, right? But Pookie, why my car through Quintine Alley talking but you keeping it there? And rat live through your corner? And when the rat go in my car and eat the wire because I couldn't get to you for 2 days, Now I have an electrical problem because you park my car at Quintan Alley by your auntie house because you don't have no real address on record. And my car just lost in the middle of nowhere. How are we permitting this? This is almost as stupid as the left turn with no turning lane and no sign. Clay, because I don't understand. If the Attorney General give the police the power to clear my car, you don't think, especially a white Attorney General who been to plenty school in his whole life, who understand, because you know they say white people understand order, you trying to tell me that this Attorney General at no time in his mind thought that, boy, you know something, if we are going to impound people vehicles, see him now, I tell you, he white, he's smart, and he's Attorney General. I lie on him yet? No. You trying to tell me that this white smart Attorney General who's the KC not ever one time thought about where these people was can carry people car when they told them? You trying to tell me that he ain't helping police to be corrupt as much work as Shanton Knowles doing with them and having all kind of symposium and seminar with them because he give them carte blanche to just carry your car? He ain't tell them where to carry it. He ain't tell them how to carry it. He ain't tell them who could carry it. All I know is Pookie and Blacks, the constable, running big time racket. And Shanton Knowles, Madam Commissioner, I want you to look into them. Because these fellas got but 65 car pile up on the side of the road. And all I'm saying is, if you impound my car, I assume my car should be going to a police station. If you impound my car, my car got to be going somewhere that regulated. If you impound my car got to be going to a lot with a security. Because what you could do when I say the radiator missing? Huh? What you could do when I say diesel in the tires that was on my car when you all to it? And you then got twine up ahead, that's Pookie assistant who just riding the record truck with him. Even he no record driver. He just in the truck with Pookie. And I supposed to believe that Pookie and Plat up ahead come to carry my car and they can be safe when they carry it through Palima Street. Because we don't have no regulated Ryan Pender. In Jesus' name, man. Let's act like we ain't like the Negroes who didn't have sense and make this stupid left turn. Right? Let's try to not be Neanderthals. Like, let's have a whole cogent idea and then write it on paper and then pass it through the parliament. But as it stands right now, you're just leaving the police to run amok. And I don't understand that. And you white and smart, and I don't think white smart people is behave like this. So, just so y'all don't say I was racist, I cursed out Michael for watching man. But Ryan Pender, I cursing you out because you have to be smarter than this. And it's no way we could permit this to exist. It's impossible, spiritual advisor. You mean the police don't have no compound to carry my car to?
Yeah, man, they carry the car right no shield.
No, when the record truck carry your car, the police don't direct him to carry it nowhere. Pookie could carry your car wherever.
Or they just need to create a government compound. That's simple.
That should have been step one. Step one is if you authorize the police to carry my car, you have to authorize where they was going to carry it.
Yeah, compound, strictly for that.
And Ryan, white and smart, and it's a KC. Oh, boy. Let's take some more phone calls. These people, this is pile up my pressure, you know.
Keep it down, brother. Wait. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Are you there, caller? Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
I mean, a whole white man can't figure this out. A whole white man who is a KC can't figure out you need an impound lot before you authorize people to impound cars. And he white.
Hello?
Hey.
You can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Spiritual advisor, Mr. Miller, I just want to offer my condolences, man.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah, man, Rodney was a good man. I had the utmost respect for Rodney and what he stood for.
Absolutely.
You know, spiritual advisor, I want to commend you as well. I know Roddy Munker, he roughed you up a little time. I remember one clip, he said something and you said, man, I getting tired of this.
I was getting ready to quit.
Said, quit then, quit. But spiritual advisor is still here today and you're going strong. So I just want to offer my condolences. Mr. Miller, you on the FNA, you're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Are you also an FNA?
If you are the chairman, I'll be right there on the ticket, sir.
Oh, good. One thing, let me tell you something. You know what I love more?
Yeah.
I love when I meet the woman them. I love when I meet the children them. I love when I meet the baby them. But caller, do you know what also brings equal joy to my heart?
Yeah.
Oh, I love to run into a FNA, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Once we stand on the principles of what Rodney Manco also stood on,
Yeah.
I'll forever be here for this.
Well, there you have it. And we can tell Michael Bender to carry his FNM. That's what.
That's it there.
Yeah. Teeth in
All right, man,
man
take care.
and put the
Yeah, you
name
take care
on
too,
it.
caller. Appreciate you.
Watching, man.
Yeah,
Next caller.
Welcome to Freedom March.
You still trying to make me feel better?
Sir, good afternoon. Hello.
It's your idea.
I feel better yet.
Good afternoon.
Hey, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I called yesterday. I was supposed to call you all back on that issue with Baker and Cable Bahamas and Rev TV.
Okay.
Now, I want you to listen to me careful, Mr. Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I deposited to get my cable turned on the 14th of last month. They turned it on the 16th of last month. The TV came on for 3.5 days and went off. I lodged a complaint back to Cable Bahamas, and they came on the 24th to look at the TV.
Mm-hmm.
It came back on the evening of the 24th after 12:30 or so. It went back off Friday morning around about 12:30. I called them back and I told them the TV went off. They said they don't have no technician available until the 29th, which was a week today.
Mm-hmm.
And I trying to find out, I said, what y'all billing me for?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't understand. I said, I don't need no phone. I don't need no internet because I ain't possession of a computer. So I trying to find out what my bill is a month. I tell them I need, when the TV came back on, I need a sports package along with it. So yesterday was the 5th. I called back to find out what my monthly bill would be. So they say I owe them for the bill come out on the 20th of each month.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them what my bill is. They say $132.39. I said, well, the TV ain't been on for 13 days, and your bill come out on the 20th of each month.
Mm-hmm.
Say, that's my old. I said, what kind of old bill and the TV just turned on the 14th?
Now, is
So
the
how
bill
it gonna be a
prorated?
old
You know
bill?
if the bill prorated, caller?
And that's what I try to find out if they prorate.
So let me tell you what to do. Let me fix you. I know some of them do. I know some of them do prorate the bill because they do something like that to me before, and the bill was prorated. So the bill shows up, but you don't have to pay it until the 20th of the next month.
Yeah,
But
but
leave your number with my producer, right? You say it's about the TV and the phone at Rev. That's what it's about?
No, I don't just the TV. I tell them I didn't need no phone or nothing.
Okay.
But hold on a minute. I ain't through.
I'm
I ain't
trying to
through
get
yet.
you help. You want to finish telling me the problem, or you want me to help you get it fixed?
No, I want to let you know some more on it.
Okay.
Get it fixed for me.
Okay.
But what happened is, I called them this morning and I said I don't have the sports package. There's the basketball playoff going on, and I can't get TNT network.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me if I want TNT network, I gotta pay extra $126 or $109
Yeah, they
a
don't
month
sound like they safe. They
just
don't
for
sound safe.
one channel, the TNT.
Yeah, they ain't safe. So what to do, caller? Listen, I have a high-speed, low-drag. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say they are super high-speed, no-drag contact inside that company. I'm gonna pass your number on to them. They're gonna call you with a coded message, and when they call you, make sure you tell them your problem, and I promise you, any problem you have with your TV at Rev, if they can't fix it, throw the TV outside. I promise you, they should be able to get to the bottom of your matter or provide you some clarity, all right?
And I tell you, I have $50 minutes on my phone from this morning when I get through with them talking. For the amount of time they had on, I had $5.35 left on it.
Well, I can't fix that. But your
No.
But your TV problem, I say to you this day, TV, be thou made whole. And so tomorrow, when my contact call you, all the problems you had with that TV, you shall have them no more.
No,
All right,
it
brother?
ain't a TV. It ain't a TV.
You say with
It's
the service.
it's the program.
The service, it ain't a
Yeah,
TV.
I mean with the TV service. So listen, let my producer take your number.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass that number on to my super high speed, no dry contact.
Okay.
All of your TV issues, you shall have them no more, my brother.
Like I say, man, all the playoffs going on, the basketball, I can't watch nothing because I can't get
You don't have no
TNT.
faith. You don't have, listen, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. If you believe in God, believe also in living.
Thank you so much, caller.
All right?
Appreciate you, man.
Let's take another phone call.
Go ahead, caller. You're live. Are you there, caller?
You take his number? Because I ain't get the number. Make sure you get his number.
Bradley and Mr. Miller.
Hey.
Hey, Bradley and Mr. Miller. You know what? Enough about that Rodney Monk. You know, Henry Boswick died. He was a nation built in this country.
Mm-hmm.
What about Henry Boswick? Everybody talking about Rodney Monk. Rodney Monk was never a nation built in this country.
Just
and
give
he
me
was
give me a
nation
second. Give me a
built.
second, ma'am.
And you all saw that on that show.
Producer, put on hold, miss, ma'am.
You can actually hang up on now.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Call back tomorrow with something else that ain't that. Spiritual advisor don't address that. If you address that, then she can feel like she big time. And I don't want her to. A matter of fact, and guess what? Under my leadership of the woman them as interim leader, we are revoking your ability to become one of the woman them. You are not allowed to be one of the woman them. Let's take another phone call.
Welcome to Freedom March call. You're
You
live.
see what I do to her? She can live her life in agony.
Hello.
Hi.
I'd like to go on the show.
You live?
Okay. I'm calling about the same issue the gentleman just spoke about.
Well, bless the Lord. Okay. You have that same problem with your TV?
Yes, sir.
You leave your number with my producer. And I'm going to have my super high speed, no dry contact you tomorrow about that TV.
Okay.
All right. So, spiritual advisor, I want to send a special shout out as well.
Go ahead.
I want to also send a special shout out. Well, firstly, to my barber, Ali, who I'm going to see tomorrow because I go to get my haircut every Wednesday. But I also want to send a special shout out to my friends at the NIB Spiritual Advisor. They tell me NIB Blue Hill Road from 4 to 6, the TV can't cut off. They watching the Spiritual Advisor and they're also very happy to have me along over here. And so to my friends at NIB, all of y'all, wherever you all are, I know y'all so hard working, y'all probably still do it. This is a special shout out to y'all. And also, Spiritual Advisor, I understand that Mikhail Barnaby. Mikhail, and we talk about this, and we talk about you getting the people them check on time. Why the people them still buying in my phone now and saying that you ain't paying them on time, Mikhail Barnaby? What happened? You can't pay checks on time, eh? What's happening? Just tell us so we can know. Because the people them say they bills backing up and that you owe them 2 months worth of money. That's what they tell me. And I don't care how much you win in Mount Moriah. If you cause all your other colleagues to get beat, you could be in opposition, Mikhail. And I want to tell you something about opposition. You see, Michael? He dizzy. He's be teething my own idea. And that's what you have to do if you end up in opposition. And I don't want that for you, Mikhail. So please pay the people them, all right? And stop doing this 2 months delay thing. Please, man. That's what I say.
Yeah. So welcome to Freedom March caller. You're live.
Good afternoon. I want to give my 10 more condolences on the happening to Monica. The women them, they really need our leader. But I will say this to Mr. Levon Miller. Mr. Monica chose the right person to be the host of this show. I sat in my house and I watched the news tonight. I hope Levon comes Michael Pentado. They're trying to keep his idea.
He is safe.
Like, really? Miss Mom will be leader of the country?
He is safe.
I was hard to sit last night.
I almost walk here today to case him out.
I say, Lord, I hope you watch it. Put it on Mr. Monta.
Yeah, Rodney won me, but them, you know.
On Pentad. He's a disgrace.
Rodney won me, but them.
You won't say it, you know, because you want take up for Mr. Pentad.
That's not true.
In the words of my leader, you know,
That's not true, ma'am. Ma'am, if you're smart, you must recognize this. If there's a good idea that could move the country forward, why not use it?
I agree, but you can't stick your name on it.
I agree. Whether it's LeBron idea, why Mr. Pentagon come on this?
No. I think what has happened to you in listen to me. What has happened to you in Levan? There's something going on in your mind that make you all think that he wants to brand it his. It's just a figment of your imagination. But I don't think he's trying to do that. I don't think he's trying to do that. Yes, ma'am. You let's test that?
We can just pray for the spiritual advisor.
You let's test that? Let me ask a question.
Matter of fact, I want you to spin spiritual advisor upside down. In the Bible, they usually pour the oil on your head so it could run down on your bed. But he ain't got no bed. So what we can do for him is we can turn him upside down and pour the oil from his foot. So hopefully the holy oil will make the spiritual advisor safe. We ain't listening to Michael Pintard. Rodney didn't want me with them. And I wish Rodney did leave him in the wilderness. And I wish he'd spin him around 3 times so he could definitely never find his way out of there. Anyway, we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Freedom March.